Okay, so the first thing I did here is I chose my hoop size, went to preferences, and my hoop size 200 by 200, apply, okay. Embrilliance right now for me is not really liking the idea of me changing my hoops after I've started my design. I don't think this is normal, but that's what I'm doing because it does make it easier. So I want to make a clock face, and it's going to go into a wooden embroidery hoop. So we'll start with, say, we'll get a circle hopefully here from the library, and we'll need 2 of those. Okay, what we'll do is we'll just copy and paste. Now we have 2, hopefully. A blue one and an orange one, lovely. So the first one we want to be, see this is locked so it'll stay a circle. I know that my hoop size is about 8, so what I'll do 7.5 inches. We can change this later if we need to. And then the center of my, you know, that's probably better. We'll just say that we want a hole for the 0.25. Whoops. So 0.25, I'll give myself a 1/4 inch. What the heck? Okay, I've been having this problem where I want my, okay, click outside again. Click on the one we want. I want this to be 0.25. Okay, there we go. And of course it's not in the center because I moved it. So centered in the hoop. Bam. Okay. And if we want, we can go into Stitch Artist right now and turn that into a running stitch, and you can see that it filled right in. So what we're going to do, and that looks like the hole's about a 1/4 inch. I could make another circle, but it's not important to me, so I won't worry about that, but I will put it back in the center. Okay, so now this is where my little clock piece will stick through. You know, and I can fiddle with that a little bit later. So if you know what diameter you have here, let's check my view. Just it'll give me a better idea. My zoom actually. Go 1:1. This is actual size, and that looks pretty good to me for, you know, eyeballing it. I haven't actually measured the clock piece that I'll be putting in there yet. So just zoom out, we've got those, and now it's time for some text. So if we go up to the text, I want a nice text that has some numbers in it. Which one was I using? Let's see. What if this one has any? So the trick is, does it have numbers? Not all sets have numbers. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space, 6 space, 7 space, 8 space, 8 space, 10 space, 11 space, 12 space. And we'll set those. I guess we like that. I wonder if we could try it and if I'll have to retype those. Let's just, for the heck of it, let's see what it looks like. Those are very clean. I might like those better. Okay, so now we have some letters. And yes, I could wrap them around and make them all sticking out, but I think it'll be easier to read them if I don't. Here's a trick. You see how we're not in Stitch Artist? That's important here because these are not letters we've digitized. They're just letters we've pulled in from a BX font. And so we can move them individually and we can size them individually, but we cannot node edit them. And there is a way to do that, but it's not something I'm interested in doing here. So next would be placement. For instance, I know, oopsie, here we go, get the green boxes, grab your green box. I want my 6 to be here, and I want my 3 to be here, so we'll just swap those. And incidentally, my hoop is just over 9 inches, and my box here is only 8 inches, so I can go right up to the edge of my stitching limits and know that I'm not going to hit the edge of my hoop when I this together. And then, of course, the 12 is out here. And yes, for some reason, you can't actually go any further to the right. And so what we have to do is we have to zoom out to get this other 2. It's way over here. In all honesty, I'm going to be, and we can't group like the 12 together. We have to use it individually unless I wanted to turn this all into nodes and re-stitchify it, which I don't, because this is just going to be a quick little design. Now, what I'm going to do now is show you a quick little trick for putting your numbers into place. You could eyeball it, but this is also a neat little trick and makes it really easy. We'll just make a little line, and I'll do that by clicking there, clicking here, right click to end it, and then head up here to Utility. We're going to use the carousel, and we'll go with a 10 tab, 10, could be 20, because you're just using it for placement of the numbers, so you're fine. And here's the thing, there's 12 numbers, so we want 12 total lines. It does count your original line as one of the 12. Okay, so this is something that Embrilliance has been doing to me. 5 is their default number, and even though I put 12 in, it gave me 5. So we will undo that. And if we do it enough times, it will let me do it. Carousel, and let's use number 20, tab 20. Okay, we want 12. Enter. Okay, hit enter. Then hit OK. I'm wondering if I hit enter last time or not. Okay, so now I have my 12 lines. We can, well, actually, let's grab, while we can see them. Okay, ready? We gotta click out a stitch artist here to get these over where we want them. And you can put them about where you want them. Makes it a little bit easier. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna use my mouse. You can use your mouse wheel, but I find that it likes to throw you all over the place. So for the fine tuning, it's a little easier to do this. So what I need to do now, we've got 2 things to do, plus put on a design and actually get it to stitch. But here what we want to do is, well, what I want to do, you don't have to, I want to make all the numbers that are not, so if we look at these numbers, they came in at 1 3/4. So I'll keep these really nice and big, the main numbers. And I'm not actually planning on stitching any of these lines. They're simply for placement. So what I'll do here is I'll just, I want to resize that number. So instead of 1 3/4, I'm going to say 1 inch. Enter. Okay, and so I'm just going to change all the numbers except for the main direction numbers there. You do have to push enter after each number. So this is slow. I'd like to see them change it so you could, you know, in Enthusiast, select multiple items and give them all the same, you know, dimension, height. You'll also notice that I'm only changing the height of the number, and this is because I have it locked right here. So you know, every number is a different width, so the consistency that you're generally looking for with your letters and numbers is your height, and then you let the width be proportional to whatever that number is. Of course, there's other reasons you want to do it differently, but in general, that's the norm. So I'm almost done here. It is tedious, but for just, you know, these 12 numbers, it is easier than digitizing them all over again. And while somebody who does not have who has essentials can do this. You would not be able to make this spoke. You'd either have to bring in something that already had that placement, or, you know, I'd probably just eyeball it. And now you can kind of see that the this, I'm putting it on the spoke and just lining it up with this here circle. So it just kind of gives it a nice tidy look when you look at it later on, and you're not going to think to yourself, oh boy, that's crooked, I should have done it a little bit different. They're all going to be pretty consistent. So I'm the kind of person that would later on look at it and go, oh, I wish I'd just lined it up a little differently or something. Okay, with this one, I'm gonna compromise. I'm not gonna quite put that one inside because it's a double-digit number. So where did... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Thank goodness for the undo. There's my 8, and I just have to go find my 11. There you are. Size him. Oh, he's all good. There we go. So I'll bring him in. Again, I'm just going to put this one a little bit outside because these double digits are a little bit awkward. There we go. So you can see it. And if I really wanted, I could go up in here, grab my circle, for instance, and delete it. It, of course, won't stitch because there are no stitches on any of these lines. They're just lines. So unless I decided to, you know, add stitches to them, which I won't, yeah, they won't come in. So then I could just print this out. I've got a basic clock here. I could tweak anything I wanted. I think I will probably find some sort of a design, and we could even go into shapes here. And I could, you know, oh, look at that. It's going to go in my sewing room, so let's see. Yep, we want that. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see. It's telling me that it's almost 2 inches. Let's go for 3 and see if it still fits. Again, I've got that locked, so it'll stay proportional to its what it was when it came in. 3 is not bad, but let's go 3.5. Oop. Okay, 3.5 or 6.7 if you're odd, like my fingers. That looks pretty good. Now, if I want to get a better idea of what it's going to look like, what I could do is hold the Command key, select all of those lines I did not need, hit delete. Oops, I didn't quite get them all, so I'll just do it again. Select the other ones, delete. You're starting to get a better picture of it. I click on this, and I could apply some stitches here if I go over into my Stitch Artist. Oh, wow, we could get real fancy. We could do a motif run around them. I don't think that worked for some reason. I don't know why. There we go. Maybe you have to have a motif picked out. Oh, I see. Okay, over here. I haven't played with these before, so this is candle wicking. Click off of that. We'll get an idea of what it looks like. Yeah, so we could do all sorts of things. I can also go back up here and click on it. Okay, so it's selected. Click over here. Click copy, and then let's see. We would want it to do paste over. And now we've got 2 French knots actually because it was French knotted. I should have done the copy before I did, but no big deal that I didn't because now I can just go here. And you can see this is selected, unselected. It goes back to a line, and then I could even put in some sort of a. We could. Oh, let's do this. If we shrink it down just a bit, and then recenter it, you can see where I'm going with this, right? Let's see what happens when we put this in. Motif run. Oh, look at this. there's some pretty nifty little motifs here that we could just throw right in there, easy peasy. Let's pick this one. Okay, and I think we're going to need to shrink that down some more because they're running into each other. There we go. And center, and I'm getting all sorts of information, and the geese are flying over. And I still don't have any power, but that's okay. My battery's good. So let's just look at that. Wow. This might not be what I want to do for my wall clock, but well, actually, I could just change the color here on one of these, right? I think I would change this one and keep that the same as the center. And there we go. Kind of give myself an idea of what it would look like. It's very 70s. Got pom-poms and geometric shapes, but let's look at this. And you know that those purple letters would not work with this, so I'd have to do a little with my color scheme here. Let's see, color. Actually, purple does work with my room. Let's do it the other way around. Let's cancel this. Go to this. Change the color. This is one of those things that drives me crazy here. Watch this. Purple. You think, okay, I'm going to come up with a color purple. Kinda. Here we go. Okay. And then one other really great thing. We're going to move this one to the same. So we'll click color. We'll click here. Rather than looking for that purple, let's hit palettes. We'll just select it. Okay. And then the last one, we'll do this one, color. And again, we'll use the palette to find the other color. Keep it simple. And here you are. You've got a nice little sewing room clock with a little detail. I might change that, I might not. I could stitch it out and try it and then stitch something else. Whatever. It's all good. Oh, and I haven't saved it, so let's save it. All right. Clock. Test 1. Because I'll test it. Then if I like it, great. If I want to redo it, which is likely, I will. So, save that. I hope that somebody else is able to make a clock. I will post a part 2 of this for people once I stitch it out and add the clock parts. All right, enjoy. Okay, I just wanted to add that, see this red box here? It's easy enough to fix, but I wanted to add it in case anybody didn't know. That means that some part of my design is outside of my box. So as soon as I move that 9 just in a smidge, it goes away. So we'll just resave that, and we're ready to go to the machine.